Hello everyone, how's everyone doing today? So in this video, I'm going to be explaining about how to bring the best out of whatever gear you have. So this is basically an inspirational / tips and tricks video. So I'll be explaining you various techniques of how I used to have my simple gear to get some really different results. Those of you who don't know me, I'm Arjun. I make travel films and YouTube videos on a regular basis. Consider subscribing if you're into those stuff. You'll definitely never regret this. In this video, I'm going to be explaining you about my journey of how I got to understand that fancy cameras and equipments are merely tools to convey your story. You can actually make a really good film with just your phone or just your simple camera. You really don't need a fancy camera to actually make a very good film or make a wonderful photograph. With whatever you have, you can actually make wonders. So everyone in today's world is fascinated by the latest equipments and gears that arrive in the market. And everyone just says that, hey, I wish I had that camera, I could have shot really awesome photos or videos. Well, I would say these are just tools to convey your story. Often these equipments are really expensive and we won't be able to purchase this. Well, that's not a reason to get upset about. There's always a creative workaround over it, and we can actually get surprising results if we just imagine a little bit more. What I want to say here is, imagination is your limit. With whatever tools you have, you can make wonders. So let's get right into it. First thing, I started shooting with a very small VGA camera, which was 1.3 megapixels. Oh my god, we actually have 40 megapixels and 50 megapixels today, and I started with 1.3 megapixels in the year of 2006. So I started photography that time, and then I shifted to a point and shoot camera, I think after 2 years. Then right in my second year in college, I bought my first DSLR camera, which I'm shooting with right now, the Nikon D7100 and an 1840 kit lens. Well, I did not have that much knowledge about lenses and stuff that days, and I was thinking, okay, hey, I bought this camera so I can actually shoot really good photos. Well, initially I was shooting way better than my point and shoot on my mobile cameras. The depth in this camera was really nice and I loved it. Then I wanted to grow more. I wanted to learn different techniques, and I started studying different techniques on the net. Then I was very surprised of how did these people get these kind of results. Then I started reading the techniques and stuff. Then I came to an understanding that, hey, they have expensive tools. They have very expensive cameras and lenses. That's why the results are actually like that. Well, at that time I was actually quite upset. Then I realized, hey, I think I can do something like that. Maybe, let's just try. So that was a thought that struck me in my college days, and I started working towards it. So I just had my kit lens, and I was trying to shoot really good landscapes, and I was trying to get the sharpness over there. So basically what I did was I learned the best settings. I learned what and all things I could tweak in this camera by changing the aperture and what are the best settings. I used to study from different people. Then I managed to take really good shots in a matter of time. Then came the story of portraits. So portraits, I really loved the background blur in many professional photographs and the bokeh which is created at night. So I was wondering, how do you do this? So I did not have understanding of how these things worked in my college days. Again, after learning a lot, I realized that it is shot in a prime lens. So prime lens, of course, it gives you it's a faster lens, so it gives you a defocus background everywhere. And even this is shot with a 50mm prime, so that's why you can see the background is really blurred when compared to shot something in 18-140, which it's kind of flat. So what I'm trying to say here is, I was thinking I did not have money to buy a prime lens that time, so I started saving up. So eventually your patience runs out, and then you're like, hey, we should do something to get the same result in the kit lens. Then I realized one technique called, if you keep the subject close enough, and if the background is really far away from the subject's background often looks really blurred. This is responsible because one of my staff at college said, whatever equipment you have, you should know the best use of it and push it to its limits and get the best results. So I'd really like to thank that sir, because he was the one who actually slightly shifted me in that direction, and I'm really thankful to him. Then I got introduced to filmmaking. In my third year of college, I started shooting various events, and I went into video. So apparently I liked video, the interaction in people with people and how they interact and talk with. So I really loved it. So again, the same problem came, and I started to grow on it, and I was wondering, how do you make smooth movements, and how do you get sharper images, and there are a lot of questions. Again, I used to read, and again the same conclusion, hey, fancy equipments, and you can do it easily. Then I realized, let's try this again, let's do it in this my very own camera. So that's again when the day I results for smooth movements. I used to watch one of my seniors work, and I got really inspired from how he used to do. So what he exactly used to do was, in his videos, all the frames will be having a very light movement, and it used to give a parallax effect. I got a chance to work with him personally, and then that's why when I learned that even at handheld you can actually shoot very easily. So my video, which was actually looking something like this, eventually turned into something like this. So whenever I used to travel, I used to make films, and my first film, Diaries, which is I've linked here, it was shot in 18-140mm f 3.5 lens in my Nikon D7100. No other lenses used, no tripod, nothing. And often the top 5 questions that I got after this video was released was that, hey Arjun, what lens did you use? Did you use a slider or something? The movements look really smooth, and how did you manage to take this one shot of this twisting of the sky? And I was like, hey bro, everything is handled, and I used a little bit of stabilization, and I used my normal lens, no fancy lens. And they were often surprised that how did you manage to get this kind of quality even with a simple setup like that? Well, that is what I'm aiming in this video, where people say that even though you do not have fancy equipments, you can still manage to get a very decent output if you know to work around. So that's it for this video. If you got inspired by this, leave a like below and tell me which was the point that inspired you the most. I would love to hear your comments in the comment section. Consider subscribing to this channel. I'll be releasing more fun videos and more inspirational content. So hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon for more notifications whenever I make a new video. So if you have any doubts on whatever things I have discussed, you can either leave it in the comment section below, or you can hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. Links in the description. I want to leave you with this note where I'm saying that content is king, gear is merely tools for making your imagination into reality. So don't limit your imagination, think beyond and make amazing content. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. This is Arjun. Live life.